Did you ever have fears when you started off? And if you did, what were those fears? And how did you overcome to get you to where you are now?
Oh God, you have to ask this emotional question, didn't you? You've all heard the statement, fearless. Well, what do you think that means? It doesn't mean the person is not scared. But most people interpret that as the person is not scared. You're scared, but you still do it anyway. Now, when I first started, I was very scared. Extremely scared. But I did it anyway. To paint a quick picture for you, I went to uni, studied accounting. Lucky enough, I got a job with Deloitte, and I realized very quickly, accounting is not for me. Then I resigned. Then I got a job with Commonwealth Bank very, very quickly. Fast forward half a decade within the banks. I was an executive manager in the corporates, had a corporate car, 6 figures, living the dream. My dad, most especially my dad, was so proud everywhere I went to. Oh, my son is a top executive. My son is a top executive. He lives here, he drives a company car. He was so proud. Now imagine a father, and my father is not someone that you can easily please, right? Imagine now going back to myself and saying, oh, Dad, I'm gonna quit this job and go start a business. Now understand, my dad had never ran a business, had a business. He truly believes in the whole idea of working for a corporation. So when I told him that, he goes, I think there's something wrong with you, and maybe we need to pray for you, and maybe there's some demons, those are village people. I think they're chasing you, Collins. When I went ahead with it, he was so upset. So upset. I was super scared, very, very scared, made a lot of mistakes. Then what I realized was I kept on going. First year in business, I didn't make any money. I lost my family. I lost my home. Right? I sold everything I got. Then I went to go rent out I wouldn't even call it a studio, because there was no bathroom in there. You had to share. It's like one of those dorm rooms that you have to go share a public bathroom. Right? But because the way I am, I was fortunate enough that I had someone with me back then, and this guy told me, Collins, there is no one in your family that owns a business. Why do you think they will understand what you're going through? Why do you think they would encourage you in any way for you to go through this? Because understand, Collins, they want what's best for you based on what they know, and they don't want to see you suffer. Most of our family and friends would be the ones who hold you back, not from a negative standpoint. It's just because they love you and they don't want to see you suffer. And I suffered. My parents, my family, my partner saw what I went through. They're like, no, I'm not going to be part of this. I'm out.
I've really been impacted by Collins speak. I've never been so blessed, had so much knowledge in this split time. Someone sitting me down to give me that bunch of experience and knowledge that are practical on how I can make the next big step in my life. I've never been touched by a speaker. Now I've really known the real reason of having a mentor, and I would love to have Collins as one. Really impactful coming here today to spend my time listening to Collins. Thank you, Collins, and I thank the God for bringing you to ROCCG Jubilee Center today. God bless.
One, I was naturally stubborn. That's why I kept on going. I'm like, if this doesn't break me, then I'll rather die. I'll die. If I can, I'll die. That's it. Die of embarrassment, whatever. But I'm so glad that I stopped Barrett. There were days that I would stay in my room, I'd cry. I would cry. Days I would be driving down in the car, I'm getting emotional, but I'll be driving down in the car, and tears will be rolling down my eyes, crying. But going back to the faith I talked about, I gotta sit down for this. My legs are getting shaky. Understand this, guys. When you pray to God that you want something, I truly do believe that there are two people listening. If you know where I'm coming from, there are two people listening when you pray to God that you want something. Now, if God Himself can give His only begotten Son to come die for you and I, and you listen to the stories of people in the Bible, the ones that are chosen, that are the ones that are truly crushed by God. Now, you might sit here and ask yourself, why is God so mean? You choose to be exceptional. You got to be able to withstand the heat. See, today I still get sued. It's just another day. It's okay. But understand this. If you don't have what it takes, if you're not willing to die for what you believe in, don't do it. Don't do it. Not everyone needs to be a business owner. Get me? Don't understand. You do not have to be a business owner. But if you decide, you choose, you want to take that path, stick with it. Because you will get so many obstacles that will come your way, that will test you, that will tempt you, that will torture you. And actually, do you really want to be a business owner? But you got to stand by faith and go, I want this. This is what I want. Even when I was broke, I would imagine myself. I remember back then, I moved back to Bankstown for cheaper accommodation. And I remember driving back to areas in the city, Piedmont, most especially Piedmont, which is where I live now, hoping that, I would love to live here one day. I would drive past car dealerships and go, you know what, I'd love to drive that kind of car. But I'm broke. I've got $5 in my bank account. But I know it's just a matter of time. I will have all this. So you got to hold on to the vision. You got to trust in something greater than you. I just believe that that's what I was meant to do. I don't know how to explain it, but just inside me, that's why everyone said, Colin, you shouldn't do this. And what I can see right in front of me, the indication is like, you shouldn't be doing this. You can stop this right now and go back to a 6-figure income next week, because my ex-boss told me, hey, if it doesn't work out, come back, we'll give you a job. I say, you know what, I'm never coming back. Don't give me that job, I don't want it. Right? But yeah, it's not easy. It's definitely not easy, but if that's what you want to do, that's your calling, only you have to go through it. Only you got to be prepared to go through it alone. And if no one else supports you, just understand that you've got the only one support that you need. God, that's it. You don't need anyone else's support. All right? Don't ask me another emotional question, please. You almost brought me to cry, but I had to hold it in. Don't do it again. Don't.
Thank you. Your response somewhat answers the next question I had. But I feel the reason I'm asking this is because I know that for me, this was something that was very important for me to learn. But